Well, I'm out in my little Super Cub tonight, and as you can see, I've got a cracked mudguard. So that's not helping it. So I'm actually going to do two things here. I'm going to fit a front rack to the front of it, and I'm going to take this off. So I can't remember if I need to take the wheel off, but I'm going to remove the mudguard anyway. I know there's a couple of bolts here and here, and then I think there's a couple of bolts inside here. So I think I need to take the wheel off, but I've not taken the wheel off for I think a month or something, or 2 months, so a little bit rusty remembering what to do. But anyway, I'm going to replace this. I've actually got another mudguard. So here's my replacement mudguard. Okay, so I've disconnected these cables. So there's a Phillips holds in the speedo cable, and then there's just a couple of odds and ends for the brake cam. Obviously I need to take the cables out from the little guide where the cables go through, and then I'm going to take this wheel out. So I'm going to have to undo this bolt here, pull the spindle out and get the wheel off, and that'll give me access to the internal part of the forks. So that's the wheel removed. I've just put it all back together so that nothing falls out. So when we get in here, we've got a couple of bolts there, or nuts there to take off, and then there's one there, and there's one, oh, there should be one there. There isn't. Wonder where that's gone. Strange. Anyway, I'll need to find a bolt to fit that. But yeah, fairly straightforward, or in theory fairly straightforward. Well, that's the nuts removed here, and also taken out. Well, that one was missing, but there's a bolt for there, which is an 8mm. So I'll need to find another one to fit on this side, but for the time being I'll just be putting that on for now, getting everything in place, and then I'll need to find another bolt and a washer, but I'll get this put in situ. As you can see, it's a slightly different colour, but I'm not really that fussed about it. But you can see the damage there. It's got a split, so that's gonna have to get fixed at some point. It's a shame, but anyway, this mudguard totally cost about £10, so it was £3 for the mudguard and then about £7 for the paint. So I don't think that's too drastic. So I'm going to fit it now. Well, that's the first fit of it. This one has a slightly wider aperture, so I'm just going to do this as a test fit first, see how it goes, but I'm going to have to widen this slightly to make it fit better. So I probably need to get a file or something and just open it up very slightly. Okay, so I've slightly widened the holes there and there. That's fine. So that one's in. This one still needs a bolt. I still need to put these caps on. Tighten them down. So that's going to get snugged up. Obviously put your spanner on there, put your spanner on here and just tighten it up, nip it up. Well, I found a bolt that fitted. It's a 10mm head. This one here is actually an 8mm. And that's in there. So that feels pretty secure. So the next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to take these off. I see I need to do some fiddling about with some insulation here. So I'm going to get some heat shrink, I think. Well, that's the rack fitted. I haven't tightened this bolt up yet, or this nut up yet. Got a useful little thing. There's no snagging there. That's okay. I'm not entirely sure about the height for this, because now this crossbar's here. So possibly I might need to turn these upside down. That's quite straightforward. Just undo the bolt here, undo the bolt there, turn it upside down. That might be the solution, but I'll need to try it on a dark night yet. But there was definitely a bit of fettling required to get this and that angle correct to line up here. But anyway, it's done. It looks pretty straight, I think. A slight raise there, but it's near as damn it. This rack actually only cost me £2, and this bolt was £1, so I'm certainly not going to complain about it. So I'll put the wheel back on and take it from there, and then I don't think I'll be out on it tonight, but at some point I'll check the high beam with the LED lights, but I do suspect I'm going to have to turn these the other way around and have them hanging from the bottom there rather than at the top. But that'll be a job for another day. So the next thing to do is for me to put this wheel back on, connect up the speeder drive and the front brake, and then get the spindle back in, and that'll be me for the evening, I think. Well, I've actually just quickly whipped them round. I've underslung them. They'll need adjusted. So they look like there. I mean, none of this stuff that I'm doing is necessary. It's just a case of farting around with some cheap accessories, really. But the LED lights really do make a huge difference at night. Really light up the road ahead. But they'll need to be adjusted properly. So anyway, back to putting the wheel back on. Well, that's everything back together. I think actually that Mudguard looks a bit better than that one was for being centered. Maybe doesn't look that great on the camera, but to the eye it seems to look better. But those lights will definitely need some sort of adjustment. either raised up or down. But well, anyway, all that for 12 quid's worth of accessories. The colour variation is different on the camera, looking at it through the screen. This looks a lot much deeper, kind of coppery orange, than it does to the naked eye. It is different, but it's not quite so, it's not as significant as it looks on the camera. It does look very much more orange, especially from that angle. It looks insanely orange, but anyway, I'm not fussed about that. It's a new crack-free Mudguard, and that's all that matters. It's only a bit of fun for the back roads, this little Super Cub. So anyway, that's it centered. So I'm going to get all my tools put away, and got a couple of extra bits. These came off the reflectors, but maybe I'll dispense with the reflectors at some point, and I'll just put a bolt in. But for now, that's good. If you've got any questions, just ask, and if you feel like it, feel free to like and subscribe.